Where once they might have cleared trees for crops, farmers are now on a mission to protect the forests of Vietnam's Lam Dong province. They're on the lookout for illegal logging, fires, and any other threats to the woodlands. It's a new approach for some of these men, members of an ethnic minority that's lived in the central highlands of Vietnam for generations. Many farmers here used to rely on unsustainable agricultural practices, which together with logging activity depleted forest reserves.
Life was so hard in the past. We practiced shifting cultivation. We cleared the forest, grew some crops, and after 2 years or so, left for a new forest area.
Now they're serving as the forest's guardians. Woodlands remain plentiful in the province, covering more than 60% of the landscape. Vietnam has set aside a number of protected areas, including the nearby 70,000-hectare Bi Duc Nui Ba National Park, known for its diversity of flora and fauna. But this pristine wilderness remains at risk if local inhabitants cannot benefit from its conservation.
Forest destruction for farming purposes was a major challenge to Lam Dong, as well as other provinces in the region, particularly when the poverty incidence was very high. 60 to 70% among the ethnic minority communities living in proximity to the forests.
To address this challenge, the Asian Development Bank, through its Poverty and Environment Fund, or PEF, implemented a pilot project to improve farmers' livelihoods and conserve forests. The primary goal of the PEF project was to establish a biodiversity corridor between the park and the nearby Da Nim Watershed Protection Forest. In 2005, it enlisted villagers to participate in defining this corridor and to then take responsibility for protecting it. The project's community-based approach helped villagers better understand the close relationship between sustainable livelihoods and forest protection.
One of the most notable achievements we have observed is improved awareness of local people. They've been exposed to such concepts as forest and biodiversity. It also helped local people see strong linkages between them and forests and the benefits they can gain from forest protection.
As part of the 2-year PEF project, farmers like Bon Dung Ha Nam received training to cultivate some new ways to make a living. Ha Nam tends to a plantation of 5,000 square metres of coffee on the border of Bi Duc Nui Ba National Park. His wife, Kajan, watches over their livestock grazing nearby. The PEF project helped farmers in 3 communes in and around the park develop coffee into a profitable cash crop. For Ha Nam, his plantation means no more days of hunger for the 14 family members who depend on him.
Before, farming was very hard. It is much better now. This is because we now grow coffee, rice, and some maize and raise cows. In general, we have become better off, both my family and my neighbors.
Families also learned more effective methods of raising livestock. Under the PEF project, nearly 400 households received 2 pigs, while other families, including Ha Nam's, were given 1 cow.
The project brought about significant improvements in economic conditions of the commune. We received training in forest management and protection. The head count of cows has increased from over 100 to 1,150 now. Pig raising has also been expanded.
The focus of the PEF project on promoting income-generating activities has since been replicated in other biodiversity corridor programs supported by ADB across the Greater Mekong sub-region, including the $70 million Biodiversity Conservation Corridors project. The PEF project also set the foundation for another pilot project in Vietnam, supported by US aid, whereby hydropower companies compensate farmers for patrolling assigned forest areas. Many farmers now earn as much as half their income from these payments. This approach, known as Payment for Forest Ecosystem Services, or PFES, has become a national policy. Through PEF, ADB is now working to scale up PFES to other areas across the country. In Lam Dong, leaders credit PFES for helping reduce illegal logging and wildlife poaching by half.
As we have managed to set up a mechanism to engage local people in forest protection, conflicts between rangers and local people have been reduced significantly. The local people's interests are now tied with the protection of the park. They now have shared goals with our forest rangers, whose task it is to protect forest resources.
Recent efforts have yielded positive changes in and around the park. In the 7 years since the PEF project, poverty rates have gone down and the hillsides are still covered with forest land.
In 2012 to 2013, there was a sharp reduction in the number of reported violations against forestry laws. Currently, the forest area encroached or destroyed is just 1/10 of the figures in previous years. So I really hope that forests will get better and no forest land will be lost.
In the past, there was illegal cutting and logging. Now the forest is better protected. Green everywhere. We work together to protect the forests. We are like the owners of these forests. We keep them green and growing.